Man, it feels good to be home. It feels really, really good to be home. My Twitter mentions are kind of out of control, but you know, I wonder what was the last day that I actually uploaded to YouTube. So we get the 26th, skip the 27th, the 28th, February 28th. What's the date today? Shit. You know, I want to talk to you guys about some real stuff right now because there was a lot of confusion. You know, there was a lot of confusion going down the other day. I made a video on my main channel basically talking about, it was a Q&A, just to give you guys some insight. It was a Q&A, and it was really me discussing my future with competitive Call of Duty because, you know, ever since I took a break, I've always talked about, am I coming back? Everyone's always asking me if I'm coming back, and I never really had a good answer for them, and I didn't want to feel like an attention whore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't want to keep talking about it too much, keep bringing it up to make it look like I wasn't trying to use it for entertainment value. Like, I wasn't trying to string you guys along and leave you guys like on a cliffhanger, whether I was coming back or not. Like, that wasn't really my intention, and it still isn't. But people are always asking me, like, am I coming back? Am I going to keep competing? And what's going down? So I made a video basically saying, you know, you guys, you know, it's a harsh reality. You know, as things stands right now, you know, I don't think I'll ever play for Optic Gaming again, okay? I really don't think I will. You know, I kind of, you know, fucked myself out of that position when I took a break from the team. Didn't so much retire, but I gave up my spot as captain because I was captain of Optic Gaming on and off for about like 5 years. You know, I was captain in 2010. I got dropped for a while, and then I came back and it was on the team for a little bit, and then I was captain going into I think Advanced Warfare and also in Ghosts. So, you know, I got a lot of history with Optic, and I feel like, I don't know, man. I have a lot of different, I have mixed emotions when it comes to Optic Gaming. I really do, because it feels really awful, man. It feels awful to not be a part of it like the way I used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go on the Optic Gaming subreddit and it's just different, you know, just knowing that, you know, I am responsible for not being a part of Optic as much anymore. You know what I'm saying? But that's like a whole nother discussion for another time. Like, one, I mean, I'm not gonna go to a break. This is cool, man. I should really make a podcast and talk about this kind of stuff. But like, when I left Optic and I left the team, I really felt like I was obligated to lead the team. And what I mean by that, what did I go? I went 37-12. Not too bad for my first time playing this map. The Weaver feels good. I felt obligated to leave the competitive team because I had been underperforming in Advanced Warfare in terms of stats. Now, do I really feel like I was hurting the team? No, not really. Maybe at COD Champs, yeah, but at the other, we won 3 events in a row. It should have been 4 events, and we were by far the most dominant team. And Call of Duty Champs came up, and it was like an anomaly for an event for us. We placed like, I want to say it was 7th place, and we were the favorites by far to win the event. And so when we underperformed and on the stat sheet, I was, you know, statistically doing the worst. I know how it feels to be a part of a team and somebody else isn't, you know, holding up their weight. Someone isn't performing the way that they should be performing. And when I'm on a team and somebody else is really shitting the bed, it's like, it feels awful because like there's nothing I can either drop this person or I can, you know, hopefully it gets better. But since I was the captain of the team, the other 3 really didn't have a choice. You know, I was so embedded within Optic that even if they wanted to drop me, I don't think I was gonna let Hector get away with it or really, you know, go down peacefully. So you know, basically I felt so shitty about holding the team back that I was like, I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be like the excuse anymore for losing, and that's just, ooh, I haven't played Skyjacked yet either. So that's really why I left the competitive team. This is like water under the bridge. This doesn't matter. I don't even know why I dived into this, but basically that's why I left Optic competitively. And obviously I moved out to LA, and whether you agree with what I did, I don't care. Whether you guys think I like deserted my friends, you know, I really don't care because, you know, they're my homies and we might joke around about me like leaving the house and stuff, but it like we're friends. It shouldn't matter where I live. Like, yeah, I wish I was living at the Optic house and chilling with the homies all day, but I love it out here and I'm really like I'm enjoying my life and, you know, like that kind of thing. But you know, since I don't live in the house anymore, I've felt really disconnected from Optic, and it's been a weird feeling. Like, you know, over the last 8 months, it's been really like an evolution of, you know, learning how to deal with that feeling of kind of not being a part of a team or an organization or a family that I feel like I helped build substantially. You know, I felt like me, Scump, and Hector and Big Timer were really sort of at the forefront, and then all the guys in the past like Merc and Rambo, you know, winning and stuff. But for the most part, I felt, you know, very responsible for helping Optic, you know, kind of grow to where it is today. And you know, it's like it's weird to not be a part of that anymore. It's really weird, and it's like I said, it's really something that I struggled with for a few of the months that I was living out here. And it actually kind of caused, you know, some issues, like a rift between Hector and I. Like, that's my best friend, man, and I'll always have his back no matter what, just like he's had my back. But for a while, you know, there were a lot of miscommunications and a lot of misconceptions between us two. And it went on for too long where me and Hector really weren't even talking. Like, we weren't on speaking terms. And not a lot of people knew that because I don't like to air that kind of stuff out. But now that it's water under the bridge now, we're good and everything. Like, yeah, like for a while, me and him really weren't on speaking terms. It was really weird, man. It's like, when you have somebody like, I consider Hector a brother, and like when you have like somebody that I'm that close to and we're just not good, you know, it caused a lot of late nights and a lot of stress and a lot of anguish for me. I know that might sound corny, but it really did, man, because that's my dude, and I'll always have his back. But it more or less is like at a place where right now, in terms of business, I can't be aligned with Optic, and they're gonna handle announcements in the future, and Hector's already kind of you know, dove into the fact that there's new sponsors coming for Optic. But you know, with esports teams and the size of Optic, you know, Optic as an esports organization doesn't really run the way that other esports teams do, in the sense of money. So other teams, maybe like EG and Fnatic and all these other organizations, the way the players make their money is, you know, getting a salary from the organization. And then when the players perform at tournaments and they play well and they win events, then the organization takes a percentage of those earnings. And some organizations even take a percentage of like streaming revenue and YouTube revenue. So that's why organizations can afford to pay their players a salary. I'm 11-9 right now. I'm not doing too well, but I'm kind of just diving into this stuff and talking. But that's how other organizations afford to pay these players these big salaries. And I've never gotten a salary from Optic. I've never had a set salary. Like I've gotten money here and there from sponsorships over the years, but for the most part, a lot of the money that I make, it comes from things that I bring in myself. And so really when I left the competitive team, it left kind of like a void. Like I now had to go and really, you know, focus on Nadeshot, focus on my brand to make sure that I can continue make a living and have a future, like, you know, as an entertainer, as a personality on the internet, now that I wasn't like considered like an esports player, you know what I'm saying? So from a business perspective, I had to really go out and do my own thing so that I could continue, like, you know, making a living and a career out of this all. So I actually hired a new manager. I hired a former member and a current member of Optic. If you guys have heard of him or not, it's Jay or Ryan Optic Jay. He used to produce a series on Optic Nation called Oh Really, and he's worked at Machinima, he's worked at Google, and now he's sort of and he has been helping me, you know, kind of navigate all this business stuff. So I'm actually going to be announcing a lot of sponsors for this year, for 2016. I think I'm bringing on like at least 3 or 4 new sponsors very, very soon. I'll have the details for you guys, and I'm really excited to work with these companies. You know, I feel like this is a really unique opportunity for me to show you guys like other companies that exist in the world of gaming and their products, and I think it's going to be really, really good. I'm actually stoked for it. So that's gonna be, you know, rolling out here really, really soon. And a lot of this stuff that's been happening between me and Optic will make a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where, you know, there just isn't enough to go around for everybody. So like, it's just on Optic, the priority is obviously the competitive team, and they need to be compensated and treated a certain way. And there just wasn't, you know, that room for me anymore. So when I talked about me returning to competitive Call of Duty, it was more or less, you know, kind of, you know, bracing you guys. Like, if I want to compete again, and I decide to compete again, it's going to involve me, you know, basically starting my own team, okay? My own organization, and I'll still be a part of Optic in some way. There's no doubt in my mind that that's true. But in the sense of competition, in the sense of just like, you know, existing and being a part of something, it's going to be my own organization. It's going to be my own team, my own like Call of Duty franchise. And whether I decide to dive into other esports titles like CSGO and League of Legends and all this stuff, you know, the concept itself isn't, you know, set in stone. It's more of just an idea. And like, I have a dope name for the team that I think that I've really fallen in love with. And that might be involved with some other things that I might be creating in the future. But I just have a lot of ideas and plans and a lot of things for the future that, you know, one of the things that I've learned as an adult is to be more patient. And that's really where I'm at right now. I'm just trying to be more patient with the ideas that I have and the things that I want to do and the things that I want to create. It's just, now that, you know, I have a little freedom and I'm not relying on other people and other things, like, I feel like I have more room for creativity in building the things that I'm passionate about. And, you know, a lot of these things sound pretty vague to you guys, but it's things that I think about all day. It's things that I'm excited about, and it's things that will make a lot more sense in the future when I can, you know, really talk and explain about more. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I know that was a really long story, and it's a little tougher to talk and play at the same time. So I hope you guys were making some sense of the things that I was saying, and I was able to basically explain them coherently for you guys to understand. So, you know, it's really hard to explain these types of things too, because a lot of the things that I just told you kind of were over the span of like several months, and obviously in like a 10 to 20 minute video, you're not going to be able to explain everything in detail, and so that's kind of a tough thing to do. So I hope things make sense. I hope we've cleared things up. There's no bad blood between me and anybody in Optic. I love Optic. I love the team. I love the fans. I love the organization. I love the people that are a part of it. You know, I really love everything about it, man. It's this crazy thing that we've built and created over the years, and it's with your guys' help that it's as successful, and the reason why I'm as successful I am today. But you know, like, if I were to ever compete again, you know, it would, you know, turn into more of something that I'm creating, and kind of like my own child in a sense. And I'm really excited for that concept. And we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Whether it's Black Ops 3 or the next title, you know, we'll have to wait until these kind of pieces kind of fall together and we decide what to do. But yeah, that's more or less a history lesson for you guys, and really what's been going on with me. You know, I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious about my streaming situation too, and that in itself is more of a difficult thing to explain than I'd like to get into, or even allowed to get into. You know, I haven't streamed in like 3 months, and I'm sure you guys have noticed that. And man, that's like a whole new can of worms, bro. That's like another dimension, another place that we are currently not at, and we're currently not living in. So yeah, I hope this is all good and this all makes sense, and yeah, man, the Weevil, bro, buff the Weevil. You know, I don't really know, I haven't noticed the difference, man. I'm 49 and 24, and it's cool to see Hijack for the first time, you know, with the new update and the new DLC. But, you know, I kind of like the old Nuketown a little bit better. I feel like they've kind of made this map, it seems a little bigger. It might just be my perception. I'll tell you what I don't like. Well, actually, I can't tell. I don't know. I really don't know. It's like I don't have an opinion on it. We're getting our ass kicked right now. I don't even know where the hill's at. I've just been talking to you guys this entire time. Oh, no. I forgot that thing is literally like a chain reaction. I forgot that actually would kill. Oh, I'm not going to run into that. Okay. Well, 49 and 27. We got our asses kicked, but at least I had the most kills in the lobby, right? I had 14 seconds of time and 11 defends. I am a shitty teammate. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is a little bit of a longer one, but I hope you guys can appreciate it for what it is. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments in YouTube. We'll see you fudging later. Goodbye.